Hello again, friends, and welcome to the finale of Bomb Squad Academy. I saved these last two bombs for their own episode because they will take some extra time to explain what's going on. So that said, let's get started. This will be really hard, I promise. Yeah, you were right about that. Now, as you can see, we have 7 wires, and they're all the same color. I had to take notes and do a lot of trial and error to determine the precise sequence to cut the wires so that we don't rob ourselves of the chance to disarm the bomb. Because if you cut these in the wrong sequence, you won't be able to disarm the bomb. You'll put yourself in an unwinnable state. So let's start by numbering the wires. We have 1, 2, and 3 on top. And then down low, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We do not want to cut wire number 7 because wire number 7 is going to this pathway into this AND gate, which we need to fully satisfy in order to disarm the bomb. So we cannot cut wire number 7. Now, the first wire we want to cut is actually wire number 6, because doing that will cut power to this input of the AND gate, which means that this flip-flop can't potentially turn on and trigger the detonator. So number 6, you're the first to go. Alright, now come the trade-offs. The next wire we want to cut is number 5. Now, if we cut power to number 5, this exclusive OR will for the moment send signal to the off on this flip-flop. I know we don't want that to be the end result. We want this to be turned on so that we can satisfy this gate and satisfy this gate. But the other benefit of cutting wire number 5 next is that we will be able to cut power to this exclusive OR, which will cause it to send a current through here. Now, it'll hit this AND gate, but it will go no further because this wire was already cut. But current will also flow through here and half satisfy this AND gate, which is what we wanted. So, number 5, it's your turn. Alright. So now you can see things are starting to take shape. We have power coming into this input on the AND. The next wire we want to cut is number 4, here. Because if we do that, power will not go into the off input on this flip-flop, which means that we will eventually be able to turn it on so that we can satisfy this and this AND. So number 4, you're next. Alright. So what does that leave? We've got 3 wires to go. 1, 2, and 3. Now, we cannot cut wire number 3 because we need power going into this flip-flop so that it can send a signal to satisfy this AND gate and this AND gate. So what are our options? We have wires 2 and 1. If we cut wire number 2, then this leg will drop, current will flow through this exclusive OR, it will turn on this flip-flop, and then half satisfy this AND. So let's do this now. Okay, good. This flip-flop is on, this AND is half satisfied. So now all we have to do is fix it so that we can get power into this input on the AND. And we can trigger that by pushing the button, but we still need power coming out of here. Okay. Now, we have power coming through here, we can't stop that. But if we trace the other input, we're coming out of this exclusive OR, which is being powered by this wire. This is wire number 1. So now we cut number 1. Alright, so if you've been keeping track, we cut wires 6, 5, 4, 2, and 1, leaving wires 3 and 7 intact. So that's good. So now if I push this button, current will satisfy this and this and and we'll be able to disarm the bomb. So, here we go. Alright, we did it. Man, if only someone would color code those wires. You got that right. Alright, strap in and hold on to your helmets, folks. It's time for the final level. Alright, this is your final test. Good luck. Alright. Now this is tough. And it's going to take some explaining. And I will do my best to describe what's going on here. We have a timer that is receiving pulses from this oscillator. We can't freeze the clock. And from the looks of it, we can't cut power to the clock, to the timer either. So that's not how we're going to solve this. The output of this clock is going into this OR gate, which is going to the detonator. Okay? So if anything lights up either of these three OR inputs, we're done for. But if you notice, the detonator has power coming out of an exclusive OR. And of course, with an exclusive OR, we can turn off the power output of an exclusive OR by feeding power into both inputs. So we have to concentrate on getting power into here, which means we have to satisfy this AND gate, which requires satisfying these two AND gates. Now, if you notice, the inputs of these AND gates are linked by wires to these four flip-flops here, 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 and here. So we have to turn these guys on. Now, if we trace the potential pathways to detonation, we have to make sure that this AND is not satisfied. Because if we put power through the flip-flops, we're also going to be putting power potentially through some other pathways. So let's trace this back. Can we somehow cut power, or can we stop power from satisfying this AND gate or this AND gate? Alright. Let's see what we can do here. Alright. But at the same time, we want to turn these flip-flops on. Now, if we want to turn... Let's start with this one. If we want to turn this flip-flop on, then we have to satisfy this AND gate, and it's half satisfied. We need current flowing through these points here. But we don't want current flowing through this point here, because otherwise, this is being an exclusive OR. We might, if we put power through this, we might cut power to here, and we don't want that. So we're going to cut this wire here. So the bottom wire of this one trinary here. Now we have a similar situation up above here. Again, we want current flowing through here in order to potentially turn on the flip-flop. So I'm going to cut this wire here. Okay. Now all these paths are linked to these wires going to these AND gates, to these switches and this push button. So eventually I'll put myself in a state where I'll be able to flip those switches and push that button to turn on the flip-flops. But let's keep going. A situation here, similar to what's below. We don't want power going through here. So we have to cut the bottom wire of this trinary. And if you look, it's very much the same here up top. So I'm going to cut this wire here. Now if we've done this right, then when I turn on these switches and push this button, I should be able to satisfy these AND gates here, 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 and here, which combined with the outputs of these XOR gates, we should be able to satisfy these AND gates and turn on these flip-flops. If I turn on these flip-flops, then I should be able to power these ANDs, satisfy this AND gate, and cut off the output of this XOR so that the detonator is completely unpowered. And I believe because we've got some exclusive ores in the mix, we want to turn these guys on all at the same time. That's where the push button comes in handy, so that nothing gets through this OR gate. So here we go. Switch number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Can you hear the music? Can you hear the tension rising? Alright. Let's see if we did this right. Time to push the button. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, mark. Alright, take a look at what we've done here. The flip-flops are on. We've lit up all of these paths. This AND is not satisfied, which is why we haven't blown up yet. This AND is not satisfied. Again, that's why nothing's gone through this OR gate to blow us up. But if you notice, over here, with our exclusive OR, both inputs are satisfied, nothing's coming out. Which means that this detonator is unpowered. So even if it receives a signal from the timer when it runs out, nothing will happen. So we've done it. So let's hit the I'm done and count it down. You did it! You defused the most complicated board of the game. Congratulations! Alright. That was tricky, but I'm glad we got to do it. So let's continue. And then if we hit continue one more time, we'll get our diploma. Here we go. Congratulations on completing the Bomb Squad Academy. Thank you for playing our game and saving the world. We hope you had a blast. Signed, Systemic Games, Directors of Fictitious Academic Studies. Well, thank you, folks. So this concludes my demonstration of Bomb Squad Academy. I thank all of you who have been following along, and I hope you join me next time as I demonstrate more games in the future. Take care, and have the best day you can.